In the quiet town of Snuggletop, nestled in the pretty tree-lined streets, sat the most wonderful children's nursery. The children in the nursery were loving and kind children who, amongst having fun, playing in the garden and exploring, cared for two very special guinea pigs named Forest and Rocky. Forest was a gentle white guinea pig with a splash of brown. Rocky had a soft, shiny black and white fur and was very adventurous indeed. Every day, they would watch the children of the nursery play, dreaming about the adventures they could have in the garden. One Friday afternoon, their dreams started to come true. A kind lady named Anne-Marie picked them up gently. "Forest and Rocky, would you like to come home with me for the weekend?" she asked. They had heard Anne-Marie talking about her horses to the children. They had heard how big her horses were with shiny coats and huge hooves. They had never seen a horse before. Forest and Rocky squeaked with excitement. Anne-Marie carefully placed Forest and Rocky in a cozy carrier lined with soft hay and popped them safely in her car. When they arrived at Anne-Marie's house, she opened the carrier and set them down in a spacious pen filled with fresh hay, a water bottle, and some tasty carrot treats. That night, after a delicious dinner of crunchy veggies and playing hide and seek, Rocky and Forest were very tired. Anne-Marie patted Forest and Rocky goodnight and turned the light off in the room. They could hear the distant music as Anne-Marie played soothing music from the other room. Forest and Rocky settled down in the soft hay, snuggled together, and fell into a lovely, tranquil sleep. Suddenly, there was a knock on the window. Forest and Rocky woke up with a startle. They peered up through their sleepy eyes and saw a huge, friendly face peeking through the window.
"Hello there,"
Alfie said with a gentle voice.
"I'm Alfie. I've heard so much about you both. I just couldn't wait to come and say hello."
Are you a horse?"
"I am,"
replied Alfie.
"Oh, this is very exciting. We've never seen a horse before. You were even prettier than Anne-Marie described."
"Would you like to come for a ride? We must be ever so quiet. Anne-Marie tucked me into bed and thinks I'm asleep."
"Us too."
Giggled Forest and Rocky. Forest and Rocky's eyes sparkled with excitement as Alfie knelt down so the guinea pigs could climb onto his back, nestling into his soft black mane. Alfie began to trot gracefully out of the field onto the quiet, leafy town. The wind blew gently through their fur as they rode through the moonlit streets. They passed houses with glowing windows and gardens filled with blooming flowers. The night was still, and the only sound was the gentle clip-clop of Alfie's hooves on the pavement. As Alfie carried Rocky and Forest through the village, they passed by the homes where the children were fast asleep. But in one house, one of the children just couldn't sleep. She peeked out of her window and gasped in delight.
"Look, a horse with Rocky and Forest on his back."
Her family chuckled.
"You must be dreaming. Settle back into bed."
The child rubbed their eyes, but the sight was gone.
"Good night, horse, Rocky and Forest,"
she whispered, drifting back to sleep with a smile on her face.
"Do you think we were seen?"
said Forest.
"Don't worry, Forest. No one will believe this."
Alfie, Rocky and Forest continued their journey.
Where are we going?
Said Rocky.
I don't really know. Where would you like to go?
Alfie replied.
Well, we know a place that looks magical and lots of fun. It's not very far from here,
said Forest. The trio headed towards the far end of the village. They approached a garden filled with flowers, lined with trees, lots of trikes and scooters, an enormous slide, and a curious teepee in the corner. Rocky and Forest jumped off Alfie's back and scampered towards the wooden climbing frames, slides, and seesaws. They climbed up the slides, squeaking all the way down. They explored the teepee and climbed to the very top, feeling like they could touch the stars. They sat on a trike, and Alfie nudged them along with his nose.
Whee!
They explored the entire garden, hiding in the flowers and chasing each other around the trees, playing hide and seek. They climbed a tall tree and peeked over into the neighbor's garden, giggling all the way. Alfie watched over them. He was glad to see his new friends having such a wonderful time. Hours passed, and soon the first light of dawn began to creep over the horizon.
We need to get back home before anyone sees us,
Forest said, a little breathless from all the excitement. Rocky nodded.
Thank you, Alfie, for the best adventure ever.
Onto Alfie's back. The two very tired guinea pigs climbed back onto Alfie's back and made their way back to the house just as the village began to wake up. They slipped into their cozy little pen, hearts full of joy and heads buzzing with memories of their nighttime adventure. Somewhere in the village, a little child woke up with a smile, ready to tell everyone about the magical black horse with Rocky and Forest riding through the town she saw in her dreams. As Alfie settled back into his stall, he smiled at the thought of his small friends. Rocky and Forest snuggled up together in the soft, warm hay. They drifted off into a cozy, restful sleep, dreaming of their moonlit ride and the adventure in the magical garden.